Peace and love, family. It's just a word that came to me recently as I was just meditating on some things. Actually came out to the woods for a couple of days. I'm staying in my RV for a couple of days, and just was thinking about the word resilience. Resilience, and what that means for us as adults who are working through things, and the fact that we have to give ourselves the grace and the acknowledgement that we have continually made it through something, that we have continually been able to overcome obstacles. I know in this, thing that we talk about regularly is about how, certain things that have happened to us in the past are still affecting us now, right? And as I was out here meditating on that, I was just thinking about how so many times I've actually, felt that I was fighting an uphill battle, and I didn't really understand why, and what was I going through, and why did I feel that way, right? And what came to me was that, honey, sometimes just be grateful for your resilience, for the fact that you have been able to overcome so many obstacles, so many perceived obstacles, sometimes things that you may have even made up yourself because they probably weren't even as heavy as you thought they were, but you overcame. You took the time, you did the work, you took the opportunities to grow and be stronger and be bigger, right? And sometimes we got to give ourselves that credit, because acknowledging those strengths lend to those strengths growing. They allow those strengths to then kind of matriculate into other areas of your life. So for all of us who have actually been through something, I want to congratulate you for not giving up. I want to congratulate you for dealing and sitting in the pain sometimes and fighting through it, because that's a huge accomplishment, People tend to give up, and I'm sure we all know that there are plenty of people who have given up, but you haven't. I haven't. And because of that, that shows a level of love for yourself and a level of commitment to overcoming as opposed to giving in. And that, to me, deserves praise. I was reading in something today, actually, that was talking about, like, being emotionally unavailable, right? And sometimes, we think about being emotionally unavailable for others, for like our lady or our wives or our spouses, right? But what about being emotionally unavailable for yourself? Like, what about being emotionally unavailable for yourself? Like, don't you think we deserve to, have that same level of thoughtfulness for ourselves? Think about it. Don't we deserve to have that same level of thoughtfulness for ourselves? We are working to become our greatest version of ourselves. We are working daily to provide for our families, to, just do all these different things for our families, for our colleagues, for our spouses. But shouldn't we be giving that to ourselves? With all of and I've been trying not to use the word trauma as much, because I don't want to evoke any unnecessary feeling or any unnecessary sympathetic feeling for yourself, because there's nothing to feel sorry about. You know, we go through these negative experiences, and that's the word I probably rather use, negative experiences. We go through these negative experiences, and they real. But because we go through them, I think we deserve to honor ourselves. I think we deserve to give ourselves the grace to be sympathetic to our own needs, to acknowledge the warfare, the fight that we are in. I think that we do deserve that. I don't think in any way that we should look past that without giving ourselves acknowledgement for the fact that we are here when so many others aren't. We are striving when so many others aren't. We are growing. We are leading. You know, we are changing lives, not only ours, but we are changing the lives of those that, you know, rely on us, those that listen to us, those that, you know, look for our guidance, right? Yeah, and I think it's only right that we keep that in mind as we traverse this landscape, you know, as we traverse this landscape, as we figure things out daily. I don't think we should ever just straight out discount that. You know, be resilient. Continue to be resilient. Continue to love on yourself. Continue to give yourself grace when things don't work out the way you think that they should. You know, like really, continue to give yourself grace when things don't work out the way that you think that they should. And it's okay. Like, there is a time for praise and self-reflection. And I think those times are even more upon us than they have been in the past. You know, I think it's almost imperative right now that we begin to take time to self-reflect and give ourselves grace. You know, we going through struggles, man. It's not, you know, it's not easy to be great. It's just not. If it was, everybody would be. So when you find yourself doing something great, when you find yourself living at a higher purpose, when you see yourself evolving, when you see yourself have a victory, take the time to give yourself praise. Like really, take the time to give yourself praise. Take the time to acknowledge the accomplishment that you just made. Like, I think that's important. I really do. I think that that's super important. I don't think that we should discount that, you know? You know, as much as we try to, you know, like I said, look past things. I'm just going to get through it. I'm just going to try to get by. I'm just going to try to, you know, overlook this slight. Nah, take the time, evaluate, let it sink in, and know that you are a warrior. That you are a warrior for yourself. You know, that you're a warrior for yourself, that you recognize that you are in this battle for self-acknowledgement. You're in this battle for self-fulfillment, and that you have a right to that. And that there should be no reason why, regardless of your past experiences, that you can't change if that's what you want. That you can and it will change. And yeah, there's tough times. It's tough times, it's challenging times. That's why I'm out here in these woods on the snowiest day in you know, well, this is the new year, but it's been a while since it's actually snowed like this, you know? But that's why I'm out here. I'm out here kind of doing some self-reflection. I'm out here giving myself time to heal. I'm giving myself time to acknowledge me. I'm giving myself time to grow. I'm giving myself time to figure some things out and be fair and be kind to myself. You know, I would say give yourself some solace, you know, give yourself some time alone. Like, you know, stop feeling the need to always be in the mix of something or always be around some people or always be doing. Now, give yourself time to just heal. Give yourself time to just be by yourself and get in your own thoughts and think about all of these things that we've gone through. And sometimes, like I said, you know, I've talked about this in some of the past episodes, you know, and we've talked about how People, we go through these experiences and they weigh us down, and we're struggling through them and all of these different things. And now I just want to talk today about the beauty of going through this, the beauty of taking the time to give yourself the praise for doing what you've done, for being strong-willed enough to make it through. Like, that's huge. That's huge. Like, really, really acknowledge that. That's huge, to be able to say that I made it through. I didn't give up. That I understand that I may be traumatized, or I may be dealing with issues that I don't even know exist and from where they come from, right? But I'm here. I'm here, and I give glory and I give praise to the Most High for allowing me to be here in these circumstances. I don't take it for granted. Neither should you, because you're here, meaning you have opportunity to change, to grow, to be, to become, whatever it is that you have desired to do, right? To change the lives of those under us, the generations that are coming. As a father, as a mother, we have an obligation to really, really correct the wrongs that have been done. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have an obligation to change these things. We have an obligation to make right what is wrong. Think about that. We have an obligation to make right what has been wrong. We have an obligation to give the next generation a better opportunity than we have. We have an obligation to that. We have an obligation to ourselves to feel at peace. And I had a discussion with a brother not too long ago. We were talking about, are we ever at peace? Peace is a state of acceptance. Accepting that you're going to be in and out of uncomfortableness. That's peace. There is no peace where nothing is happening. Where is that? That's only when you're dead. As long as you're alive, there's going to be conflict. Conflict with the weather, conflict with with job, spouse, people, environment, whatever that is, it's going to be conflict. So peace is acceptance. To me, peace is submission. Peace is submission to the will of the Most High. Peace is submission to the will of God and His plan for you, right? And her plan for you. And I don't want to get into nothing in terms of indoctrination, because that's not what this is about. This is about love and just understanding the universal order of things and the universal power that is within you to decide how you want to live your life and whether or not you want to succumb to, this or that. Whether you want to succumb to giving into experiences that may not have even been your fault, may not have even been by your design or by your choice, right? But they just did. They happened. And now what do? Are we going to sit around and moan and groan about it? Or do we take action? Do we fulfill our destiny by making choices that may require us to do certain things? Like, do not continue to be a victim of what may have been or what may have happened, if that makes sense. Do not continue to be a victim of what may have happened and what may have been. Those things are in the past. Now, we got to acknowledge them. I'm big on acknowledging. I'm big on working through those things, like 100%. Like, I'm not even telling anybody, like, oh, forget about the fact that you were traumatized. Forget about the fact that you were neglected. Nah, those things are real. Those things are real, and they deserve real acknowledgement. So I'm not in any way saying that. What I'm saying is that don't get hung up on it to the point where you become inactive. Don't disregard the actions that you have taken to break out of that. Don't disregard the fact that you have the power to go and get help. Don't disregard the fact that you have the power to heal yourself by sometimes stepping away and getting into nature and just connecting back with the source. Don't disregard going out and being able to just pray and focus your energy on healing. Don't discount what it means for you to sit with yourself and reflect on even those hard times, even those challenges. Man, as I've been out here for now about 4 days, 5 days I've been out here now. Yeah, about 5 days I've been out here in the woods. As I've been out here in the woods for about 5 days, man, I've had so much clarity. I've had so much time to reflect, and I've even thought about things that I thought I wanted to suppress, that I didn't even want to think about anymore. And it's been hurtful, but I've had to take the time to really evaluate it and sit in that feeling and say, hey, it's okay, King. It's okay. It's okay to feel like that. It's okay that you went through that, but that's not going to define you. That's not going to define you. You're not going to allow that to define you, right? And I say my name, Ani, I am. Come on. Stand tall, believe, know, trust in the fact that God didn't get you here this far to abandon you. That's just not, it's not the way it works. It's not the way it works. You abandon yourself. But the universe, the Most High, will never abandon you, right? Never. You abandon yourself by not doing the work, but if you do the work, the universe conspires for your success. The universe conspires for you to succeed because it has no desire to see you lose. They don't have no objectivity in your win or your loss. They just want to see whatever your mental attitude is comes into fruition. And it's not about the timing. You may think, I've been doing this for X, Y, and Z and it didn't happen and I'm still struggling. So what? Keep struggling. So what? Keep struggling. Keep pushing. Keep fighting. Keep forcing the narrative. Come on. Change that. We got that power. We've been given that gift. We've been given that gift of power within. A unexhaustible amount of power within. Just look back on your ancestors. Look back on your ancestors and what they had to struggle to go through. Look back on everybody else, what they had to go through. They went through hard times as well. I don't think there's ever been a time in history where people haven't gone through hard times, but they made it through, which is why you're here. Which is why you're able to watch me on a small phone. Think about it. They've gone through those things. So should we be any different? Should we be able to avoid those same exact things that are just part and parcel of what it means to be alive and to be here? I understand. I'm never, this whole podcast is about talking about the past, right? It's talking about how, we acknowledging the things that have happened to us and how we need to get past it. At the same time, we need to have solutions for it. I don't want to just sit around and talk about all the things that's happened to me. I've had years of negativity and neglect and hardship on me. Years of it. And it's affected me to this day. But I'm never going to give up. I'm never going to stop fighting. I'm never going to give in. I'm just not. I'm just not going to do it. And I don't think you should either. And I think you owe it to yourself, to your family, to your loved ones, to fight for health, for healing, for purpose. Because sometimes those negative things takes away our purpose. We so busy trapped in the negativity of the past that we're not even living in our purpose for today in the present. Think about it. We neglect the present. That's not good. That's not good. We don't want to do that. We don't want to neglect the present. You see what I'm saying? Like, we don't want to neglect the present. So in not being able to do that, then that's going to require us to do something different. That's going to require us to be stronger, to be leaders, to be leaders of ourselves, leaders of our family, leaders of our own healing. We can't rely on anybody to save us out of this right here. Now, could we get help? Absolutely. I've said this several times. Therapy works. Talking about certain things works, right? So I'm never going to say that, we should just let it be and not do this and not do that. I don't believe that. I believe we should speak to people. I believe we should get help. I believe we should be able to reach out to others and see, is there some resources available for us to find the help that we need. I believe we need that. I believe we're entitled to that. But we're only entitled to what we ask for, what we look for, what we go for, what we fight for. That's what we're entitled to. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's what we're entitled to. What we look for, what we ask for, what we fight for. That's what we're entitled to. We're not entitled to anything else. We're entitled to our own peace. We're entitled to freedom. We're entitled to equality and justice that we fight for. It's just and again, most of what I'm telling you is what I believe. And I applaud people who have their own beliefs and think about things in their own way. I'm just telling you what I feel. And I'm hoping and praying that somehow it connects with you guys. It means something to you guys, that it does something for you, that it gives you an answer to something that you may have been looking for, or just inspires you to do something greater for yourself. Because you deserve it. You deserve that. We deserve that. Children of pain, children born of these experiences that have never been healed. We deserve the right to change and to look at life differently and to have a different outlook. We deserve to be understood, and even just for somebody to hear us complain about this pain a little bit and let it go and release it, not keep it pent up. Like, we deserve to be free of that. We deserve to have that level of omission of these sins. And then we got to do that before we make the mistake of hurting someone else. Before we make the mistake of continually hurting ourselves. Think about that. Before we make the mistake of continually hurting ourselves, we owe it to ourselves to break out of this cycle. Think about it. Like, wow. Like, when you really consider that, we owe it to ourselves to break out of this cycle and say, yo, listen, like, this ain't it. This ain't it. Like, this ain't it. Like, we owe it to ourselves to know that there's a better way forward. I believe it 100%. Not even I believe it, I know it. Because believing means that you kind of know, maybe it might happen, maybe it might not. But when you know, there's no question, I know it's snowing right now. I know this is, frozen water, so to speak, right? I know, and I know that there's a healing way out of this. I know that there's a healing path for all of us. I know that for sure. And I hope that you begin to know that through our conversations, because, the reason why I created this podcast of Sins of the Father is because I wanted a vehicle, a medium to express the possibilities and the ways forward for not just myself, but for all of us who have struggling or are struggling with how we are raising our children, how we are handling our stresses, our strains, our struggles. I think it's super important. And I'm not taking anything from it. Like, I don't want to pretend that there's, this, because no. I don't want to pretend anything that this should be something taken lightly, or I'll just get over it, get past it. We should be able. I don't even want to talk to anybody that's that insensitive to what this thing is. I don't want to talk to. If I do talk to them, I want to talk to them in a way where I can let them know that you're actually making a mistake. To think that you should tell anyone, get over it. You know what I mean? Like, you should tell anyone, get over it. Nah, no way in the world. No way in the world should we be telling anybody, yo, just get over it. Just get over it. You be all right. Nah. Take the time to care and love and appreciate and acknowledge that somebody's struggle. Like, really, take the time to care. And then your children, if you have children, because I'm sure maybe some of the people that watch this don't have children. But if you have children, or if you're a child of a parent, acknowledge the circumstances and the environment you're in. See whether or not there are things that are happening. Are you being neglected? Are you being heard? Are you able to enjoy? Are you able to function, focus, on your life? Are there things that are happening to you that you don't feel comfortable with? Acknowledge those things. Understand those things. Look at those things. Really see, well, what is it? Because you deserve, you deserve to. You deserve to be heard. That's the best way to say it, right? You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve comfort, man. You deserve it. You deserve to feel better than, it just is what it is, man. It really is. And I don't want to belabor that point, because just like I said, I don't never want this thing to be about a thing that we just going to sit in victimhood and we just going to sit around and keep talking about how bad it is. That's not what this thing is ever going to be about. This thing is about growth and strength and support and love, and most importantly, loving ourselves enough to fight. Loving ourselves enough to continue to fight, to continue to heal, to continue to find peace and balance in this lifetime. Yeah, it's super important. It really is. And I'm saying that without any reservation. This is super important. And anyone that doesn't acknowledge that doesn't deserve your time. Take whatever they say with a grain of salt, because for some reason, they're really not acknowledging the realities, that this is real. That this is real. We got a lot of hurt people walking around, and we all just need to sometimes just take the time out to just acknowledge each other. Be kind to each other. Give people grace, you know what I mean? Because you just don't know if they are a victim of something. So give them grace. As you give yourself grace, as you give the world around you sometimes grace. But at the same time, I will say, protect yourself. Protect yourself from other people's trauma. Protect yourself from it, because you deserve to be protected. You deserve to be acknowledged. You deserve to be heard. You deserve to be happy. You deserve it. Believe me, you deserve it. And nothing in the universe says that you can't be happy. Nothing in the universe wants you to be unhappy. No. Now, challenges doesn't mean you have to be unhappy. Challenges are necessary. Challenges are a part of what we go through, and a part of us being who we are, and a part of us growing. Challenges should be accepted and relished and overcome. But pain, we don't necessarily need. We're not really necessarily looking for pain. Pain is not our. Pain is something to signal that we need to change something. It's like a signal, right? It's like a signal that we need to change something. So again, before I cut out, because it's getting freezing cold out here, But before I cut out, I want you to say, I love everyone that listens, and everyone that ever will listen in perpetuity. I love every single one of y'all, because we all kindred spirits, looking just to be healed and to find comfort in our living, to find peace and value in who we are, and to be able to forgive and let go of certain things that are holding us back from our greatness. I believe we all came here with a gift, with a beautiful, loving gift to share with the world, to share with our families, to share with our children, to create something lasting, to create a legacy of love and kindness, to lend and give to humanity. I just believe that's what we're here for. Sometimes it takes a struggle, sometimes it takes a fight, sometimes it takes all kinds of things, but that's what we're here for. And I just want to be a vehicle for that. And if there's anything that I say that can help, anything that I say that strikes a chord, anything that I say that you don't agree with, I ask you to please leave a comment. Let's discuss it. I don't have a problem with discussing it. I ask you to please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Sins of the Father _ And I'm your host, Ani I Am. On this cold, snowy day, I really appreciate you guys tapping in. And I just want to say love, peace, and healing. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Tap in. Peace.